Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. So I am really excited and really nervous to jump into Mao Dao Zushi. so I have wanted to see this show for a while now. It was mentioned when I first had the Given poll way back like 6 months ago. And then it's come up in the poll that selected Banana Fish and the poll that selected Run with the Wind. I've had people on Patreon tell me about it. And so I've been really excited about it. And I decided that since Ruby's done, I want to dive into another show while it's on hiatus, and this is a little bit different than anime. It's Chinese, so it's Chinese animation, so it's a little bit different. There's another cultural barrier there than Japanese animation, so I'm really excited because I've seen a couple of pieces of concept art for it and official art, and it looks gorgeous. But I am extremely trepidatious and nervous about this show because since it's Chinese, it's a totally different cultural barrier. And if you've watched my Hanako-kun reactions, you know I'm one of the worst people at pronouncing names. And if I've learned anything from watching Banana Fish, it's that Chinese names have a certain sound to them that I don't think my horrifically American mouth can easily do. So I'm like, I am so sorry ahead of time because it's probably going to take me a while to get used to these names, to get used to the different cultural aspects that I've been told about this show, that there's a lot of things that they assume the audience already knows because they're like, oh, the audience is Chinese. They already know these cultural things. You already know the idioms. It's all fine. And I'm going to be sitting here like, So, thankfully, my friend Wu on Patreon, as well as another fellow YouTuber, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize because the fellow YouTuber gave me this amazing list of character sheets that I haven't looked at. I've saved it on my drive, but they gave me this list of character sheets for the show, and they were on my old channel, and I was going to reference them in this, and I've lost my old channel, so I don't have your name. But if you are the one that sent me those Google Drive files, please comment down below so that in a future reaction I can call you out and give you a shout out, because I have a feeling those are going to be a godsend. And thank you to Woo too for giving me like some info on character sheets and stuff too, because I've been told that this series has a lot of exposition things that they kind of assume that you already know. And so I'm probably, as soon as the reaction's over, if something's confusing to me, I'm probably gonna have to stop the reaction when the episode's over, and before I come back and talk about it, go and look something up real quick. So I'm predicting that's probably going to happen, but I'm really excited for MDSZ or MD Madao Zushi, so MDZS. See, I'm already getting confused. It's going to be, but I'm all about really beautifully animated shows that have complex characters and storylines, and I've been told this is a good one, and I've had a lot of recommendations for it. So I'm like, you know what, since it's Chinese and not Japanese anime, we're going to keep it off the polls. We're just going to do it. And there's 2 seasons, so I'm pretty excited about it. But I hope y'all are too. I've been told this is a great show, so I'm excited to dive in. The first episode's 35 minutes long, so it's like, what is this extra 10 minutes? So I've got subtitles. Wu was very nice and kind and sent me links to sent me downloadable episodes for the first 2 seasons. So thank you. But in any case, we are going to jump into this show and just see what in the world it's about. So I hope you all are excited. I don't know what I'm getting into other than I know that from the character sheet, a lot of the characters look the same with different hairstyles. So this won't get confusing at all. But I'm excited. Let's dive in here, and we're going to start episode 1 of Mao Dao Zushi, and hopefully I'm saying that right. Cool. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. It wasn't as terrible to follow as I thought it was going to be. I was really nervous it was going to go way too fast, but I'm getting. Obviously, I don't know the names of like all the summons and spells and things that they're doing, but I get the gist of what's going on. Oh my gosh, this guy, Woo here, the Yingling patriarch is such a force of chaos, like just a troublemaker from the start. I have so many questions about him. Like, it's set up from the beginning that he is sort of I feel like there's an unreliable narrator in here because from the start they're like, oh, he's this evil, this cultivation clan leader gone awry and caused all this havoc and is evil, and that's why we had to destroy him. And it's like, but then they say he destroyed his own amulet, his own sacred object. So it's like there has to be something else there that we don't know yet as the audience. But I like this idea that he's basically resurrected and reincarnated and into this body of this kid that summoned him back. Many questions about that, like Mo, like the Zanyu, the kid that summoned him from the start. How did he learn that seemingly elaborate way to summon back a spirit that's been gone for 20 years? Why? I mean, he establishes this contract that he wanted the Mo son, the clan leader woman, and the hired hand killed. And once they were gone, that was his con. I thought that was really cool. The 3 marks. I thought that was a really neat way to do that. But I'm like, why? Obviously, he was abused and was like a second-class citizen there. But I'm like, is that it, or is there more to it? So we need to figure that out. This guy Wu, just such a force of chaos. Like, he's just such chaotic energy and trying to impersonate the young crazy kid. Like, he's like, oh, help me, hurry, like ruffling his hair and making him look crazier than he was. But then he's resurrecting people as zombies. It's like, and he doesn't want to get exposed that he's been returned to this body. So it's like, it's interesting. He's going to try to pass off as the bastard son of this clan, when in reality he's like a former patriarch of this like Yiling dynasty thing. It's like, what? Like, his character's so intriguing to me, like this little gremlin running around, like trying not to get exposed but also trying to do things. And then we have the 2 cultivators from the Lan clan, and I've got pulled up here. We've got the 2 brothers, which is interesting. I'm going to try to find. So, Sisui and Jingyi, and I know I've said those wrong, and I'm sorry. But so the older brother and the younger brother, Sisui is the one that that Wu first ran into right when he first introduced himself back with the son and the mom. Interesting. And then at the very end, we get Wang Ji, who is clearly it says a clan leader. So interesting. So I'm curious. I'm very curious. So I'm looking at this character chart here. We've got the siblings and everything. So Wang Ji entering the picture. He seems like either the older brother that is clearly the more experienced of the 3, and so I find that super interesting. But yeah, the concept of these spirits inhabiting these zombies and exorcising them basically, and the fact of luring them in and getting rid of them, it seems like that's been an ongoing problem, and that's what these cultivators do. They just go from town to town, getting rid of zombies and helping these villages. The idea that this chaotic character has come back into the fray after all of these years, after 23 years. And so it's basically been 28 years, right? Since all of this has gone on. Timeline is interesting. But I have so many questions. Why Zanyu, why Zunyu brought him back, why he summoned him, how he learned how to summon him, what's the point of him being back? Now that the 3 marks are gone, does that mean he can just do whatever in the body? Is he free to go wherever he pleases? Is there more stipulations with it? Like, is there more to the contract? The fact that people were trying to resurrect him after all this time, and somehow this kid did it? It's like, and from that opening, he looked really traumatized and was like in this secluded space on their property to bring him back. So I'm like, there had to be more to the reasoning of why it happened. But I'm so curious. And Wu clearly has connections to the Lan clan because he knows about he says they're all self-restrained, they're too uptight, too restrictive, and he's not. Like, he's just like, let's just do all the things. So, so curious. But this world is gorgeous. The art style is beautiful. The action, the choreography, like all the movement is so crisp and fast, and It's such an interesting way to set up our protagonists and leave us with a lot of questions of who is who and what's their relations and what's these characters all seem to have a past, and Wu clearly has a past with this Land Clan, so I'm really curious when we get into what has that past, what I want to know more about his past, because we only get that preview with the zombies at the beginning, which was amazing, but I want to know more, and so I'm hoping that this is one of those series that will go back and give us more like glimpses into what's happened leading up to this point. Because I have a feeling that it just feels like there's an unreliable narrator here, and that we, the audience, are led to believe that Wu is a certain type of character, and he's chaotic. He is a gremlin, like what a troublemaker, but he just doesn't seem like malevolent, like evil. So I feel like there's obviously more to the story, or maybe he is, and we're just following him along on as he antagonizes this Land Clan. I don't know. But this is such a cool opening episode to kind of draw you into all of this. And like I said, I don't feel like I'm lost in terms of the story. There's a lot to soak in, because I'm sure there's a lot of cultural things that I'm not picking up on yet, because I'm not from that culture, so I don't instantly pick up on it. Like some of the things with the spirits where they were explaining, oh, this is a ghost or a spirit or a demon, and what the differences are between those. Like, I feel there's some cultural significance there that I'm not privy to, but I could still pick up on what was going on. So that made me feel better about it. Now the names are going to take me a while. I can already tell, because it's just going to take me a while. So I'm probably going to have to shorten them to keep everybody straight, but I can at least tell who's who. There's enough variation. I was worried in that OP. I was like, man, some of these characters, they have the same outfit on. It's just their hair that's different. But actually looking at the episode, there are some subtle differences between these characters. So this character sheet's going to be really handy. So thank you again for helping me keep who is who. But yeah, I'm really curious. So I have many questions, and I don't have many answers yet, so that has me excited to watch the next episode. So I'm curious what your thoughts are down below. Please don't spoil me, but let me know if there's any kind of cultural thing that I'm missing. Feel free to talk about it down below. Just please no spoilers, because this has already like gone in so many different directions than I originally expected, that I'm like, awesome, cool, I'm all about it. So I'm excited, y'all. I'm ready to dive into episode 2 already. But in the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed this reaction. Please comment down below, and have a wonderful week. Stay safe. And yeah, I'll be back soon with more Mao Dao Zushi. Bye.